right then, Celtic fans. Strap yourselves in because the transfer window roller coaster is still very much alive, and it's shaping up to be one of the more dramatic January windows in recent memory. First off, a wee reminder, this year the January window doesn't actually close at the end of the month. With the 31st and the 1st of February landing on the weekend, the final deadline has been pushed to Monday, the 2nd of February. That gives the board an extra couple of days to get their business sorted. And let's be honest, the way things have been going, they'll be needing every last minute to make the moves that could define the season. And supporters have been on edge for weeks, trying to guess which names will appear on the Celtic sheet and who will actually make it through the gates of Parkhead in time to impact the pitch. The chatter this week has been dominated by the transfer summit reportedly held at Lennox Town, where Martin O'Neill, Michael Nicholson, Sean Maloney, and various scouting staff were gathered to discuss the club's targets. According to reports, the priority is still very much a striker, though there's talk of bolstering the wings, strengthening the centre-back options, and even a possible goalkeeper addition. Though that last one seems increasingly unlikely, fans have grown used to a certain rhythm at Celtic. During January, it's all noise, speculation, and hope. But the reality is that the board tends to move at its own pace, rarely succumbing to the urgencies of individual fixtures. The Hearts game on Sunday has been cited as a potential deadline for incoming players, but if history tells us anything, Celtic view these individual matches as minor milestones rather than hard stops. The true deadline is the close of the transfer window itself. Every year, supporters set their own mini deadlines, from the start of the competitive season to cup ties or derbies, all in the hope of seeing reinforcements arrive in time. Yet the pattern remains the same. Celtic operates on their timetable, and the transfer window often stretches into the final hours in a frenzied scramble that can be as nerve-wracking as it is exciting. Looking specifically at the striker situation, a few names have dominated the rumour mill. Callum Wilson was a talking point last week, initially tipped for a move from West Ham, but recent events have shifted his course entirely. Wilson scored a late winner in the London derby against Spurs, and it's now clear he will remain at West Ham until the season's end, effectively removing him from our radar. Then there's Franko Kovic, a Croatian forward making waves in Hungary. Despite his outstanding scoring record this season, 25 goals in 28 appearances, including 12 in European competitions, he's set to join Ferencváros for around £2.5 million. Celtic won't be seeing him grace Parkhead, which is disappointing given his prolific record, but the transfer game is nothing if not unpredictable. Another name circulating is David Dartro Fofana, currently on loan from Chelsea in Turkey. Despite being at a struggling side at the bottom of the Turkish Super League, he's managed 6 goals in 13 league appearances, showing an ability to find space and contribute under challenging circumstances. Clips suggest he's adept at linking play, moving toward the ball, and offering pace, something that has been in short supply across the Celtic squad this season. While there was talk of a permanent deal being explored, indications are that he might now be heading elsewhere, possibly to Hearts, rather than arriving at Parkhead. Other potential striker options like Kieran Bowie or L'Oreal's Mohamed Bamba have been floated, but there's little to suggest they would represent a transformative signing, and the murmurs around Bamba are far from thrilling given his meagre return this season. Centre-back and midfield reinforcements have also been on the board's agenda. Names like Austin Trusty, Liam Scales, Stephen Welsh and Dane Murray have been linked to potential defensive cover, while Frankfurt's Aurélie Amenda briefly appeared as a target before upheaval at his current club likely ended that option. The defensive line is not an immediate crisis. Clean sheets have been maintained, and while none of the options are spectacular, the pressing concern seems to be injecting creativity and energy into the midfield. Midfield additions have been quiet, with Ignacio Laquintana previously on the radar but now seemingly off the immediate agenda. Winger options such as Tuanda Massey from Motherwell have gained traction, particularly following scouting attendance at recent cup matches, suggesting Celtic are keeping multiple irons in the fire as they look to shore up the squad. The way Celtic conducts its transfer business continues to provoke mixed reactions among supporters. Attempts to approach players from clubs with complicated ownership structures have occasionally backfired, leaving the club appearing unprepared or misinformed. A recent loan request to Leeds United for Joel Pero reportedly met bemusement, highlighting the sometimes amateurish nature of negotiations and the disconnect between intention and execution. While Celtic have a track record of eventual success in bringing in key signings, the repeated delays, dead ends, and near misses can test the patience of even the most loyal fans. With European fixtures approaching, including the upcoming Bologna clash, supporters are left balancing excitement with frustration. There's hope that one or two signings might arrive in time to influence crucial matches, yet the reality is that Celtic often thrives or struggles based on performances with the squad already in place. The next couple of weeks promise to be a tense period, with rumours, last-minute deals, and strategic decisions keeping fans glued to updates. The anticipation is palpable, and every report, whisper, or official statement could tilt expectations from cautious optimism to urgent concern. Turning our attention back to the transfer rumours and the ongoing striker hunt, it's clear that Celtic are keeping a close eye on a number of options, even if few do seem likely to materialise before the window slams shut. The whispers around David Datro Fofana have dominated conversation among supporters. Despite his decent return in Turkey with 6 goals in 13 league appearances, the bigger question is whether he can adapt to the pace and physicality of the Scottish Premiership. Celtic's style demands strikers who can not only finish chances, but link play effectively, drop deep when needed, and support wide players in transitions. Fofana ticks some of these boxes, particularly with his movement and pace, which have been missing at Parkhead, but it remains uncertain whether a deal will come together before February the 2nd. Fans are cautiously optimistic, but aware that historically the board tends to leave key decisions to the very last minute. Meanwhile, the winger situation is growing increasingly interesting. Ignacio Laquintana, the Uruguayan wide man, previously reported as a target, seems to have quietly slipped off the radar. He was possibly earmarked under Wilfried Nancy, but with the managerial change, it's unclear if he still fits the profile the current management are chasing. On the other hand, Tuanda Massey from Motherwell has emerged as a stronger candidate. The presence of Martin O'Neill and Mark Fodium at a recent Motherwell Cup fixture suggests the club are actively scouting and evaluating his potential. Massey impressed at AFCON with Zimbabwe, demonstrating both skill and composure on the ball, and his style could provide the sort of attacking threat Celtic have lacked on the flanks. There's even talk that a player like Stephen Welsh could be included in a deal, which would be a clever way to navigate squad regulations and add depth without overspending. Centre-back reinforcements remain a tricky area. Names like Austin Trusty, Liam Scales, and Dane Murray have been circulated, but none have inspired genuine excitement among supporters. The failed pursuit of Frankfurt's O'Reilly Amenda further highlights the uncertainty and volatility surrounding defensive targets. Managerial changes abroad, transfer market shifts, and other clubs' reluctance to part with players often leave Celtic navigating a narrow corridor of options. While the defence is holding up reasonably well, the absence of a commanding centre-back with both pace and aerial dominance is a concern, particularly in European fixtures where margins are so fine. The club's challenge is balancing the desire for an immediate fix with the reality of what is available in the market and what fits the tactical blueprint. There's also been continued discussion around the potential sale or retention of key first-team players. Ari Engels, the 22-year-old central midfielder, has been linked with RB Leipzig, though a winter move seems unlikely. Leipzig's interest appears more as a contingency. Should Rocco Wrights not arrive in the summer, Celtic, meanwhile, are unlikely to part with Engels mid-season, particularly given his importance to the squad and the need for stability in the middle of the park. Retaining core players while navigating the January market is a delicate balancing act, and the board's decisions here could have a significant impact on both domestic and European campaigns. On the topic of wider transfer dealings, Celtic's approach to Leeds United over Joel Perreault illustrates the complexities of modern football ownership and relationships. The move reportedly met with bemusement at Leeds, highlighting the sometimes amateurish perception of Celtic's negotiation style. The club's eagerness to secure deals can occasionally clash with the realities of ownership structures and inter-club politics, and this has been a recurring theme in January windows past. Supporters are often left shaking their heads at near misses or overlooked opportunities, yet the pattern also reinforces the notion that patience is required. The board tends to operate on its own timeline, often leaving deals until the 11th hour. The dynamic of the squad itself adds further layers of complexity. With fixtures piling up, including domestic cup ties and crucial league matches, managers must balance rotation, squad fitness, and tactical preparation alongside the uncertainty of who might arrive or depart. The potential for late signings to influence outcomes is tantalizing, but also fraught with risk. Bringing in a new striker or winger at the last minute can provide a boost, but it also demands quick adaptation both on and off the pitch. Supporters hope for seamless integration, but the reality is that chemistry and understanding take time to develop, even for talented individuals. It's also worth noting the broader context of Celtic's January activity compared to other clubs. While the Premiership rivals and European counterparts are executing deals with surgical precision, Celtic often appear reactive, responding to emerging opportunities rather than proactively shaping the market. This approach has its pros and cons. It allows flexibility and the chance to pounce on late bargains, but it also risks missing out on prime targets. The delicate balance between ambition and pragmatism is on full display during this window, and supporters are all too aware that patience and faith will be tested repeatedly over the coming weeks. Finally, with the Bologna clash looming and domestic fixtures continuing apace, the pressure to complete signings is intensifying. Fans are eager to see action on the pitch, mirrored by activity in the transfer market, hoping that key additions arrive to strengthen the squad and provide a competitive edge. The final days of the window promise a flurry of rumours, last-minute negotiations, and strategic decisions that could define the season. It is the nature of Celtic's January windows to be dramatic, unpredictable and at times frustrating, yet the hope remains that decisive moves will eventually land, bringing both excitement and renewed belief to the supporters who follow the club through every twist and turn of this intense and captivating period. Finally, the sense of urgency is palpable as February the 2nd approaches. Every potential signing carries weight, and the consequences of inaction loom large. Celtic supporters continue to hope for the right blend of talent arriving in time to influence the outcome of key domestic fixtures and European matches alike. Whether it's a striker who can provide a clinical edge, a winger who can stretch defenses, or a midfielder who can dictate play, each addition is scrutinized for its potential impact. The board is tasked with navigating a turbulent market, balancing patience with the need for action, all while managing expectations from a passionate and vocal fan base. For the supporters, this period is a test of patience and belief, as the final weeks of the window promise to be decisive in shaping the fortunes of the club for the remainder of the season. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. The atmosphere ahead of the next Old Firm clash has taken a dark turn, with rumors swirling of a fiery confrontation on the pitch. Sources close to Hearts suggest that one of their defenders has openly vowed to make life difficult for Celtic star forward KYOGO. The player, known for his uncompromising style, is reportedly warning that the game is now a place for the weak, sparking chatter across fan forums and social media alike. Insiders claim the defender's comments weren't just casual bravado. Eyewitnesses from training sessions hint at a tense exchange when the teams shared the pitch last week, with the Hearts backline particularly focused on nullifying KYOGO's threat. The defender's words have already sent ripples through the Scottish football community, with pundits debating whether such aggression is part of a tactical mind game or an early sign of an Old Firm dust-up. Fans are split. Some see it as the raw passion that fuels one of football's fiercest rivalries, while others fear it might cross the line into dangerous play. The Celtic camp, meanwhile, is reportedly unfazed, with insiders claiming the team will stick to their usual tactical discipline, letting KYOGO's skills speak louder than threats. Still, whispers in Glasgow pubs suggest supporters on both sides are bracing for a match that could be as heated off the ball as it is on it. What's certain is that this latest outburst has added a new layer to the saga. Conversations about Old Firm clashes rarely focus solely on tactics, and now speculation about whether Hearts defender will make good on his promise dominates pre-match chatter. In a fixture already steeped in history, the promise of physicality, intimidation, and unyielding spirit seems to be shaping up as the headline act. Whether it escalates or remains a psychological ploy is anyone's guess, but Scottish football fans are, as ever, glued to the drama before the first whistle. Hello, fan, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.